What would you say to Yeti if he was going to watch this? And who is Yeti?
Oh, Yeti is my cockatoo, a Moluccan cockatoo. He's a parrot. He's kind of pinkish white with a giant fluorescent orange crest. And I have learned so much from Yeti. He always seems to be expressing happiness. For some reason, he just loves me so much. I love him so much. In a way, he's my teacher. Yeti, I recently learned, has liver disease. If he were human, he'd be on a list for a liver transplant. However, that's not possible with parrots. He means so much to me. He talks, he says such funny things. He really likes me to be where he is, and he just makes such an effort to even always be good. Parrots love to chew on everything, and when he's out running around, his instinct is to go chew on all the wood. My house is built of wood. My walls are all natural wood and everything, and of course he wants to eat it all up, but all I have to do is say Yeti, or no Yeti, or come back, and he stops. And he talks to me, he likes me to follow him around. He'll say things like, come here, and I'll look around to make sure I'm following him. Or when he's in his cage, if I go upstairs, he'll say, come back here, come down here. If I go in my bedroom, it'll be, come back out here, come here. If he's sitting on a high perch, come up here. If he's on the floor, come down here. And what I love about Yeti and what I admire so much is he always makes an effort, and he always just shows up. He could sit there and he could be depressed and he could be inactive, or he doesn't have a bed, but the equivalent of a human, just lying down on their bed and sighing and just feeling the weight of the world. And he doesn't do that. So he's a very great teacher to me. Oh, and I would just want to tell him, Yeti, I love you so much, and thank you for coming into my life and for loving me. I'm going to cry, but he really has shown me unconditional love, and I think that's a rare thing in life, He loves me no matter what. He just does. And that's such a gift. I think that's the greatest gift we can receive in life. And so, being able to give it, and that's kind of what I meant when I said just share and appreciate and love one another, because, wow, that's the gift of life.
Thank you for that. I think Yeti would be really happy to hear that. And I'm glad that viewers will get a little bit better of an idea of who he is.
Yeah, and I tell him I love him all the time, so he always says that to me too. He says, I love you.
Yes, he does. Okay, so my last question is, perhaps your biggest fan among my friend group is actually Craig's brother, Nate. Okay? And Nate, what he loves so much is when he and I will be playing a game together online and he hears you say something to me in the background. And the reason he loves that is because he says that not only our interactions, but your nature is very wholesome. So could you tell us something wholesome to close out the interview, especially something wholesome about your gardens?
Oh, wow. I have a lot of flowers. I even have some that originally were in my grandma's yard. We're talking about, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Some of these are really long-lived plants. But to me, wow, flowers are so beautiful, and probably most of us agree on how beautiful they are. But the kind I have are perennials, and they come back every year. And they're kind of a little bit a lesson about life, too. And I think about this as I grow older and sort of begin to approach the end of my life, how the seasons of our life, the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter of our lives. And even though in the fall everything turns brown and dies down, in the winter we can't see anything. It looks like everything is dead. Well, it creates a mystery in life. The flowers are kind of allegorical. We have to wonder when things are no longer present to us. Like my dad, has leukemia and he's in his 90s. Both my parents are in their mid-90s. And Yeti, I know he has something that he's not going to be able to just live forever with me, maybe. About what is life. Is there anything in life that is permanent, And I think that one thing that is permanent is the love that we share with others and the joy that we give them. The joy that we bring, laughing together, all of that. I really do believe at this part of my life that releases an energy into the world that is always there and always swirling. When I was little, my dad used to talk to me a lot about, he was a physics teacher, so we'd be going on long drives, and I'd be sitting in the back seat behind him, and he'd talk about conservation of matter and energy. Because I would ask him sometimes, what happens when we die? And he would talk to me about how everything changes, everything in life changes state, and to learn to be comfortable with uncertainty. This is starting when I'm 4 years old, and I'm still grasping to really understand that. But gosh, I don't know, I got off on a tangent. It was about flowers. But anyway, flowers to me are kind of a real example of that. It doesn't look the same. Everything in life, is always changing, really, and in a state of flux. And learning to embrace that is a real big thing.
Thank you. That was a good ending.